Across vast fields, stretching around the world, the bountiful 2025 harvest season is reaching its peak as millions of tons of fruits and vegetables await collection. Farmers are not only racing against time but also struggling with unpredictable weather, volatile prices, and relentless market pressures. In this video, let's take a closer look at how farmers are urgently harvesting millions of tons of produce during the 2025 season. Standing out as one of the most iconic symbols of autumn, the pumpkin becomes the opening character in our harvest journey. Across the United States, with Illinois holding the title of pumpkin capital, vast golden fields come into season from late September to November, just in time for the excitement of Halloween. Fresh pumpkin harvesters use sharp blades to cut through thick stems, while mechanical arms lift the massive pumpkins from the ground and place them onto conveyor belts. Rotating rollers and brushes remove excess soil before the plump pumpkins are neatly deposited into storage bins at the rear. With a continuous rhythm, thousands of pumpkins are gathered within just a few hours. Unlike fresh pumpkin harvesters, pumpkin seed harvesters have a more specialized design. These machines crush and separate the entire fruit directly in the field, sorting out the seeds through screening systems, while the rind and flesh are discharged back onto the soil as organic fertilizer. By combining these two technologies, American farmers not only meet the enormous demand for fresh pumpkins in holiday markets and food production, but also maximize economic value from the seeds, driving annual yields to more than 680,000 metric tons. Farewell to the diligent farmers across the fields of Illinois. Now let us journey to Wisconsin and Massachusetts, where every September, farmers harvest their rewards, glistening like crimson jewels upon the water. Unlike pumpkins, cranberries are harvested using a unique method known as wet harvesting. When the season arrives, farmers flood the bogs with water, then deploy special machines called water reels or egg beaters to stir the vines and loosen the berries. Thanks to tiny air pockets inside, cranberries rise and float, creating a spectacular sight. Thousands of bright red berries drifting like a floating carpet across the water's surface. Next comes the conveyor harvester, a modern harvesting machine that drives directly through the flooded bog. At the front, steel tines sweep the floating berries into the intake, while rotating conveyors lift them up, drain the water, and deposit them straight into boats or bins along the bog's edge. This method accelerates collection, reduces the need for manual boom corralling, and minimizes damage, making it ideal for large-scale cranberry farms in the US and Canada. Much like the bison roaming the Great Plains, the sight of flooded bogs shimmering with cranberries has become an enduring symbol of North America, a living image that captures both its natural abundance and cultural identity. Another approach that is becoming increasingly widespread is the conveyor harvester, which demands an investment of $250,000 to $400,000, but delivers far greater efficiency. At the front, steel tines sweep the floating berries toward the intake, where rotating conveyors lift them up, drain away the excess water, and deposit them directly into waiting boats or bins along the bog's edge. Each year, harvesting 700,000 tons of cranberries can require millions of liters of water, but Ocean Spray, the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the United States, emphasizes that much of this water is reused throughout the season, while accounting for nearly 70% of the nation's production. Brussels sprouts grow in tall, sturdy stalks that can reach up to a meter in height, with dozens of compact green buds tightly clustered along the stem, making their harvest a task that requires both precision and specialized machinery. From September to March each year, the Brussels sprout fields in Flanders, the agricultural heart of Belgium, enter their harvest season. Farmers rely on specialized machines such as trailed Brussels sprout harvesters and self-propelled Brussels sprout harvesters. Inside, 6 rapidly rotating blades spin like a giant pencil sharpener, trimming each compact sprout and pushing the stalk forward. Every 6 seconds, one plant is fully processed. The Brussels sprouts are then cleaned by fans and filters before falling into the collection hopper. Thanks to scientific farming methods and highly efficient mechanization, Belgian farmers harvest more than 156 million pounds of Brussels sprouts each year, surpassing other countries such as the Netherlands, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Nearly 90% of the products we use every day contain sugar, and much of that sweetness begins in the sun-drenched sugarcane fields of Brazil, where farmers harvest around 650 million tons of cane each year. During the 2025 season, Brazilian farmers must race against time to cut and process sugarcane before it is sent for crushing and export. Before the 2000s, both American and Brazilian farmers commonly burned sugarcane fields before harvest, especially in São Paulo state, which produces more than half of Brazil's output. It might sound unusual, but the purpose was to remove dry leaves and unnecessary tops. This left the stalks cleaner, reduced excess debris such as fallen leaves, organic matter, and insects, and made manual cutting faster and more efficient. However, because of the enormous amount of smoke and harmful emissions it generated, Brazil has implemented a program to almost completely eliminate pre-harvest burning, shifting instead to mechanized green cane harvesting. But in the United States, especially in Florida, burning sugarcane before harvest is still common. If you were there, how would you explain the reason behind it? Against this backdrop, harvesting fresh, unburned sugarcane with modern machinery is increasingly being promoted and has quickly become the dominant path forward. Specialized harvesters cut the cane close to the ground, while simultaneously stripping leaves and tops right in the field. The stalks are lifted onto trucks by conveyor belts and transported straight to the mills on the same day. If the harvest is delayed, the sugar content in the cane drops rapidly, making it prone to mold and pests, which reduces its market value. That is why Brazilian farmers always strive to deliver the cane to the mills within 24 hours to ensure the best quality. Across Europe, Russia, and the northern United States, vast sugar beet fields stretch endlessly, with the harvest season running from September to November. Modern sugar beet harvesters are massive self-propelled machines designed with high precision. At the front, lifting wheels or digging shares penetrate the soil, gently raising the beets from the ground without breaking them. Immediately afterward, fast-spinning knives slice off the green tops, which are left in the field as a natural fertilizer. The beets, once cleaned and neatly trimmed, travel along a conveyor system, passing through a series of rollers and cleaning turbines that remove excess soil and stones. Finally, they are deposited into a large holding tank on the machine. While sugarcane still dominates with nearly 80% of the world's sugar supply, sugar beets provide the remaining 20%, with the European Union, Russia, the United States, and Turkey among the leading producers. China dominates the global plum industry, producing more than 6 million tons annually, over half of the world's total output. From July to September each year, farmers race against time to harvest their fruit at peak ripeness. Harvesting plums requires a delicate balance between speed and care. In small orchards, workers pick by hand, gently twisting the fruit from the branches to preserve the thin skin and juicy flesh. The harvested plums are then collected into baskets and moved quickly to sorting stations. In larger farms, such as those in California, mechanical shakers are deployed. These machines grip the trunk or main branches, delivering powerful shakes that send ripe plums tumbling onto catching frames or padded nets below. The fruit is then sorted, graded, and packed within hours to maintain freshness. Beyond being eaten fresh, plums are dried into prunes, processed into jams, or fermented into wines and spirits. Altogether, the global plum and prune industry carries an economic value of more than 10 billion USD, giving this fruit cultural and commercial importance far beyond the orchard. With expectations of harvesting more than 190 million tons of tomatoes in the 2025 season, this crop is grown in over 170 countries, making it one of the most widely cultivated on the planet. Harvesting methods vary depending on their intended use. For fresh market tomatoes, farmers must harvest quickly during the peak season, typically from June to October. Workers hand-pick each fruit by gently twisting it off the vine and placing it into crates to protect the delicate skin. In contrast, processing tomatoes are harvested with mechanical tomato harvesters. These self-propelled machines cut entire plants at the base and feed them into an onboard system that strips away vines and leaves. Advanced optical sorters then separate ripe red fruit from green or damaged ones, discarding the latter. The selected tomatoes travel along conveyor belts into large holding bins before being transported directly to processing plants. Thanks to this technology, a single harvester can collect up to 60 tons of tomatoes per hour, replacing the labor of hundreds of workers. China, India, and the United States dominate global production, with California's Central Valley alone producing millions of tons each year, much of it destined for sauces, ketchup, and canned products. An industry worth nearly $190 billion worldwide, almost 19 times the value of the global plum and prune market. Let us journey to the tropical coasts, where one of the world's most iconic crops thrives: the coconut. Harvesting coconuts is a task that demands both skill and courage. In many traditional plantations across Asia, such as Indonesia, the Philippines, and India, farmers climb towering palms that can reach up to 20 meters high, using only ropes or simple footholds to reach the heavy clusters. With a swift swing of a machete, the coconuts are cut free and dropped to the ground. Modern methods have introduced long poles fitted with sharp blades or hooks. Standing safely on the ground, farmers align the pole, twist, and cut the stem, bringing the coconuts down one by one. In Thailand and parts of Southeast Asia, specially trained monkeys are still used. They climb quickly, twist the coconuts with precision, and can harvest hundreds per day. The global coconut industry, valued at more than 20 billion USD, plays a vital role not only in tropical economies, but also in the worldwide markets for food, cosmetics, and health products. Harvesting sweet corn requires precise timing. If picked too early, the kernels remain underdeveloped. If left too long, the sugars quickly convert into starch, diminishing their flavor. The peak season usually runs from June to August in the United States and from July to September in Europe, with more than 45 million tons of sweet corn needing to be gathered in a race against time. First come the whole-ear corn harvesters, which glide smoothly down the rows, using sharp cutting systems, either serrated blades or rotating discs, to slice cleanly at the base of the stalks and feed the entire plant into the machine. Inside, counter-rotating rollers take over. They strip away the outer leaves, keep only the quality ears, and move them onto conveyor belts that carry them to holding tanks or directly into waiting trucks. The most advanced sweet corn harvesters today come from companies like John Deere, with models such as the 7700 series harvester, capable of processing up to 20 tons of corn per hour, matching the workload of more than 100 laborers working non-stop. Yet despite these advances in technology, the careful hands of farmers still provide a level of quality that machines cannot replicate. Hand harvesting, though far less efficient, nearly 15 times slower than mechanized methods, preserves the natural freshness and premium quality of each ear, ensuring they arrive at the next stage in perfect condition. Once the golden fields have been cleared and the ears collected with care, the journey shifts away from the sunlit countryside into modern factories, where sweet corn is transformed into the delicious products we enjoy every day. Imagine stepping into a vast avocado orchard, where sun-drenched trees heavy with fruit stretch endlessly toward the horizon. Welcome to Michoacan, Mexico, the avocado capital of the world, where over 2.5 million tons are harvested each year. But Michoacan is just the beginning. The avocado boom has spread across other fertile regions, from the highland farms of Chile and the coastal valleys of Peru to the abundant groves of California, USA, forming a global avocado belt that powers both supply and export for the entire world. Although avocados may seem easy to grow, if you live in a region where temperatures drop below 5 degrees Celsius or rise above 38 degrees Celsius, your beloved avocado tree is almost certain to struggle or may not survive at all. Did you know? Avocados were once called alligator pears because of their bumpy skin. Unlike traditional sweet fruits like apples or pears, the avocado is a natural masterpiece. Rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, packed with more potassium than bananas, and loaded with vitamins E, K, and C, along with lutein to support eye health. But the value of avocados goes far beyond nutrition. In Mexican culture, avocados and guacamole symbolize luck and abundance, with roots tracing back to the Aztecs. Today, guacamole is a global favorite, especially in the US, where it's a Super Bowl essential with thousands of tons consumed in a single day. Every remarkable journey has a beginning, and for avocados, it starts with the harvest season. By summer, after 6 to 7 months of careful development since flowering, avocado orchards grow heavy with fruit. Farmers work tirelessly, checking ripeness, preparing harvest baskets, and meticulously picking each avocado to ensure the best possible quality. A key factor that determines the fruit's perfect flavor and freshness lies in the farmer's sharp eye and intuitive touch, something no modern machine can replicate. Harvesting avocados requires finesse and a keen sense for selecting perfectly ripe fruit, smooth-skinned, unmarred, and just the right softness. Farmers use long poles with specialized cutters to reach high branches, often paired with sturdy ladders or mechanical lifts mounted on trucks. These mobile platforms allow them to adjust height and navigate between trees safely and efficiently. For lower-hanging fruit, the harvest is simpler. A gentle snip of the stem with shears or a skilled twist of the hand is all it takes. Each avocado is then carefully placed into a chest-worn basket to avoid bruising from impact. An experienced worker can harvest up to 450 kilograms of avocados per hour. Though modest compared to machine-harvested crops, this precision ensures the fruit remains fresh and flavorful, reflecting the care and respect farmers bring to each season. However, due to its biological nature, avocado farming demands a significant amount of water, about 320 liters for a single fruit. This raises sustainability concerns, especially in water-scarce regions like Mexico, Peru, and Chile. As climate change intensifies, the avocado industry is under increasing pressure to find more water-efficient and environmentally responsible farming methods. But harvesting is only half the secret behind the exceptional quality found in every avocado product. The other half lies beyond the orchard, deep within the walls of modern processing facilities. As soon as the avocados arrive at the factory, they undergo a strict incoming inspection process to ensure consistent quality across the entire batch. First, technical specialists randomly select samples from the avocado crates and examine them in a laboratory, assessing key indicators such as ripeness, firmness, color, and pesticide residue levels. Next, the crates of avocados are placed onto an inbound quality control conveyor belt. This conveyor system, equipped with continuously rotating rollers, allows workers to easily observe the entire surface of each avocado, enabling them to quickly identify and remove any fruits showing signs of bruising, cracking, or other defects. Only avocados that meet the highest quality standards are allowed to continue on to the next stages of processing, while substandard ones are immediately discarded. After passing the initial inspection, the avocados are transferred onto a conveyor equipped with high-pressure spray nozzles. The water pressure must be strong enough to remove dirt, sand, and debris, clinging tightly to the skin, yet gentle enough to avoid scratching the avocado's delicate outer layer, which bruises easily if handled improperly. However, rinsing with water alone is not enough to ensure complete cleanliness. That's why the avocados are then dropped into large water tanks containing a mild disinfectant solution. This step helps deeply cleanse every crevice of the fruit, wash away pesticide residues, lightly sanitize the surface, and quickly cool the avocados, all of which contribute to preserving freshness in the steps that follow. After the avocados are thoroughly washed and sanitized, they move on to the drying stage. Here, they are transferred onto a vibrating conveyor or an air-drying tunnel equipped with powerful, temperature-controlled fans. Proper drying is essential. It not only prevents water from interfering with downstream processes like cutting or peeling, but also reduces the risk of microbial growth during handling. Once dry, the avocados are ready for the next phase of processing. Next, the avocados are moved to the sorting area, one of the most critical steps in the entire process. But why is this so important? High-resolution industrial cameras combined with image analysis software automatically scan each avocado to assess factors such as size, skin color, and ripeness. Avocados that meet standards for shape, uniform color, and ideal or even underripe maturity are separated for fresh packing, domestic distribution, or export. Fruits that are moderately ripe, intact, and firm are directed into the frozen avocado processing line. Meanwhile, overripe or visually imperfect avocados, as long as the flesh remains high quality, are reserved for guacamole production. That's why the sorting system, which operates continuously with high precision, plays a crucial role in ensuring consistent quality across all product lines and maximizing the total value of every avocado batch. In the fresh avocado packing area, only the avocados that meet quality standards are sent directly onto the distribution conveyor. Here, workers perform one final quick check to remove any fruits that may have been damaged during internal transport. The avocados are then placed into specially designed trays or carton boxes, lined with soft padding to minimize impact. The packing process is primarily done by hand, allowing workers to use their flexibility and delicate touch to reduce surface bruising as much as possible. In some large-scale factories, automated robots are also used to speed up the packing process, though they often lack the finesse and gentleness of human hands. Each shipment is clearly labeled with information about its origin, packing date, and product type. The completed boxes of avocados are immediately placed in cold storage, maintained at a temperature of 5 to 7 degrees Celsius, to preserve peak freshness and quality before heading out to millions of consumers. Meanwhile, avocados that don't meet the standards for fresh export embark on a different yet equally fascinating journey, one that takes them through the frozen processing line or into the production of guacamole. At this stage, the avocados are fed into an automated cutting machine, where sharp rotating blades slice each fruit in half quickly and uniformly. After cutting, the pit is either removed automatically by the machine or manually by workers during the pulp extraction process. The avocado flesh is then transferred onto a chilled conveyor belt, where workers inspect each piece for quality, removing any bruised, damaged, or substandard portions. The approved avocado pieces continue on to the next stage of processing, while the low temperatures maintained throughout this step help preserve freshness and slow down oxidation. Avocado seeds may seem like waste left behind after each batch of guacamole, but in reality, they are far from useless. As microplastics are increasingly found in soil, water, and even human blood, bio-based alternatives are making a comeback and growing more popular than ever. First, the seeds are collected, thoroughly washed to remove any remaining pulp, and dried to reduce their moisture content to around 8 to 10%. Next, the dried seeds are finely ground into powder, then blended with natural binders such as cornstarch, bio-based glycerin, and organic additives to create a biopolymer mixture. This mixture is then molded using specialized machines to produce items like straws, spoons, forks, and plates, products that offer durability and heat resistance comparable to petroleum-based plastics, but with a major advantage: they can fully decompose within 180 days under industrial composting conditions. However, there's a catch. These eco-products are still 2 to 3 times more expensive than traditional plastics, and their fast biodegradability only occurs in strictly controlled industrial environments. If discarded carelessly into nature, they can actually take even longer to break down than conventional plastic. If you're searching for an oil that's both nutrient-rich and safe for your health, avocado oil is an excellent choice. It's produced by pressing or centrifuging the soft, ripe flesh of the avocado after the skin and seed have been removed. The extracted oil is then filtered to remove impurities while preserving its natural flavor and signature green hue. Compared to olive oil, avocado oil has a higher smoke point, a milder taste, and remains rich in healthy fats and vitamin E, making it ideal for both cooking and skincare. But the avocado's journey doesn't end there. With their rapid ripening and harvest volumes reaching tens of thousands of tons per season, avocados must be processed quickly, and freezing offers the most effective solution. Once the seeds and skins are removed, the pure avocado flesh is fed into an automatic slicer. Some products retain avocado halves or larger chunks without going through the cutting stage. After shaping, the avocado pieces are immediately transferred into an IQF system, where the temperature drops to -40 degrees within minutes. As a result, once thawed, the product retains much of its fresh taste and smooth, creamy texture, closely resembling that of a perfectly ripe avocado. But what happens when that 80% frozen green cube transforms into a creamy crowd favorite? This is where guacamole takes the throne, rich, vibrant, and ready to rule taste buds around the world. After a final quality check, the pulp is transferred into an industrial mashing machine. Depending on the product requirements, the avocado can be finely mashed into a smooth consistency or lightly mashed to retain small chunks of fruit. The mixing paddles operate at carefully controlled speeds and durations to ensure the desired consistency while preserving the fresh, vibrant flavor. Depending on the production line, the seasoning formula typically includes a precise blend of ingredients, often consisting of approximately 1.5% salt, 3 to 5% lime juice, 6 to 8% chopped onion, 5 to 7% diced tomato, and 1 to 2% chopped cilantro, based on the total weight of the mashed avocado. Once it passes quality checks, the guacamole is transferred to a sterile filling system for automated packaging. For retail or single-serve products, the guacamole is filled into shallow plastic trays or small round containers. After filling, the containers are sealed with plastic lids or covered with a thin, transparent film or foil seal, protecting the product from oxidation and ensuring maximum hygiene. Finally, the guacamole products undergo high-pressure processing, a cutting-edge, non-thermal preservation method. Subjected to extreme pressure, up to 6,000 bar, the guacamole is treated in a way that effectively eliminates harmful bacteria without the use of heat or chemical preservatives. This ensures the product retains its bright color, fresh taste, and natural texture, while significantly extending its shelf life. And perhaps, the next time you dip a nacho into guacamole, drizzle avocado oil over your meal, or sip from a biodegradable straw made from an avocado seed, you'll recognize that beneath that smooth green surface lies an entire world of innovation, sustainable agriculture, and human dedication. After about 7 months of soaking up sun and breezes, the banana plant begins to bloom, revealing its iconic purple flower. This is when farmers step in to cover the developing bunch with a green plastic bag or a specially designed protective sheath, which stays in place until harvest. Why bag the bananas? It may seem like a simple step, but these bags act as invisible armor, shielding the fruit from pests, harsh sunlight, and strong winds. They also help retain consistent humidity, creating ideal conditions for the bananas to ripen evenly and develop that perfect yellow hue. But bagging alone isn't enough. To help the banana bunch grow plump and firm, farmers carry out another crucial step: removing the female flower. Once the bunch is formed, the purple tip, which is the flower itself, is carefully cut off. This stops the plant from wasting nutrients on unnecessary baby fruits and directs all its energy into ripening the main bunch. To sustain banana yields far beyond the days of manual farming, modern plantations now rely heavily on chemical-based care, using pesticides and fertilizers in large quantities, sometimes reaching hundreds of liters per hectare. In addition, routine disease prevention spraying is a critical step to guard against fungi and pests that can devastate an entire banana plantation in just a matter of weeks. As time goes by, the banana bunches gradually grow larger. But checking their size is no longer a matter of guesswork or intuition. Farmers now use special calipers to measure the diameter of each banana finger with precision. Only when the fruit reaches the ideal thickness, with a deep green and smooth peel, is it considered the perfect moment for harvest. And from that point on, a demanding yet skillful task officially begins: harvesting millions of tons of bananas. Banana harvesting is typically a two-person job, carried out in perfect sync. One worker stands firmly and uses a sharp knife to make a clean cut, about 20 to 25 centimeters above the last hand of bananas, ensuring the stem is long enough for easy transport and hanging later. At the same time, the other worker swiftly catches the falling bunch on their shoulder, which is padded with foam or a soft sack. Each bunch can weigh up to 50 kilograms, so without experience and proper technique, a single misstep can cause serious injury or damage the entire bunch. That's why banana harvesting has never been a light-duty task. But what happens to the mother banana plant after the bunch is cut? The truth is, the mother plant must be sacrificed. Bananas are unique. Each plant produces just one bunch in its lifetime. Once its mission is complete, it's removed to prevent pests and diseases, and to make room for new shoots growing from its base. This is where the chopper comes in, a specialized machine that cuts and shreds the banana stalk on the spot. In just a few minutes, the old plant is cleared away, turning into fertile mulch that nourishes the soil and paves the way for a fresh new season. After harvest, transporting the heavy banana bunches without damage becomes the next key step. To do this efficiently while maintaining freshness, many plantations turn to the agricultural cableway system, a brilliantly simple yet powerful solution and a testament to modern farming ingenuity. Instead of hauling each massive bunch out of the plantation manually, workers simply hook them onto steel hangers suspended from an overhead cable system that runs between the rows of banana trees. Once everything is ready, the railless banana train quietly glides through the tropical forest, accompanied only by the rustle of leaves, as if the bananas themselves were enjoying the ride. Imagine standing in the middle of vast, lush cucumber fields, bathed in sunlight, stretching endlessly to the horizon. Welcome to China, the king of agriculture, where over 77 million tons of cucumbers are harvested every year, accounting for up to 80% of global production. However, production alone is not everything. When it comes to pickles, the United States is the true king, with renowned brands like Vlasic, Mount Olive, Clausen, and a pickled cucumber industry worth billions of dollars, closely tied to the fast food boom. With their sharp, salty flavor and irresistible crunch, stand out as a refreshing contrast to other pickled products like brined olives or pickled beets, offering a distinctive tanginess along with the added benefits of probiotics that help support digestion and improve gut health. Among over 100 varieties of cucumbers, only a few have thin skin, few seeds, are crunchy, and absorb flavor well, making them suitable for pickling. However, even within that group, only the high-quality 5 to 8 centimeters gherkin cucumbers, out of millions, are selected to create the tangy, crunchy pickles that are the soul of millions of jars worldwide. This explains why gherkin pickles, with a history spanning over 4,000 years, continue to exist and have become the golden spice, beloved globally and playing an essential role in the food industry. And every legend has a starting point somewhere. For pickles, the iconic sidekick that has won over millions of food lovers around the world, that journey begins in the sun-drenched, green cucumber fields. From May to July each year, the cucumber fields become more vibrant than ever as the harvest season officially begins. On the vast fields stretching endlessly, modern machines, large, precise, and powerful, have become the extended arms of farmers during the busy season. As the machine moves along each row of cucumbers, the harvesting head functions like a giant comb, brushing through each stem and guiding the vines into the machine. Inside, an automatic sorting system removes unnecessary leaves and stems while only keeping the cucumbers that meet the standards and transferring them to the conveyor belt behind. Unlike the modern potato harvesting machines from Grimm or John Deere, which are designed to dig up soil and separate potatoes from the ground with a capacity of up to 20 tons per hour, cucumber harvesting machines are built to be lighter and more precise, allowing them to harvest cucumbers without crushing the fruit, with a capacity of around 5 to 10 tons per hour. Traditional farming still yields stable cucumber harvests, but relies heavily on chemicals. In this context, organic farming, hydroponics, and greenhouses are gradually becoming the trend due to their ability to optimize yield, minimize negative environmental impacts, and address consumer concerns about pesticide residues and herbicides. Although technology has advanced significantly, it is the diligent hands of workers that still bring superior quality that machines cannot replace. Workers carefully pick each cucumber by hand, selecting those that are ripe and of the right size, then place them onto a moving conveyor belt attached to the harvesting machine or specialized trailer, helping transport the cucumbers to the storage containers quickly and gently. Manual harvesting, although much less efficient compared to modern machines with a capacity up to 15 times higher, ensures the finesse and precision that machines cannot achieve. After harvesting, trucks quickly transport the cucumbers to processing factories within 2 to 4 hours, preserving their freshness, crispness, and texture before embarking on the next secret journey, becoming the tangy, crunchy pickles that captivate the world. At the pickle processing plant, trucks carrying millions of tons of fresh cucumbers line up one after another, entering the raw material intake area. In modern factories, cucumbers are introduced into a closed-loop washing system, with multiple stages designed to ensure food safety and high input quality. First, cucumbers from transport trucks are poured into large indoor water tanks. These tanks contain clean, continuously recirculating water, often treated with ozone, diluted chlorine, or light brine to eliminate surface contaminants. The gentle water flow helps rinse off soil and debris while moving the cucumbers toward the conveyor belt without causing any bruising. Next, the cucumbers pass through a high-pressure multi-directional spray tunnel, typically 4 to 6 bar, where powerful water jets thoroughly remove dirt and bacteria. The water used in this stage is filtered and reused through a closed system involving mesh filters, activated carbon, and UV or ozone sterilization, ensuring both hygiene and resource efficiency. This process doesn't fully eliminate pesticide or chemical residues, which may remain on the fruit's surface. Therefore, to ensure consumer health and safety, factories must conduct strict checks in addition to following farming standards. Modern methods like HPLC and MS detect pesticide residues with high accuracy, with residue levels ranging from 0.05 mg to 5 mg per kilo, depending on the pesticide and regulations. Now here's where it gets interesting. There are two popular methods, each with its own secret formula for making pickles: natural fermentation for traditional and premium lines, and quick vinegar pickling for industrial products. First, for the natural fermentation method, cucumbers are sorted and then placed into large fermentation tanks, often positioned outdoors to take advantage of the ambient temperature, providing ideal conditions for fermentation. This method not only saves energy, but also promotes the growth of beneficial bacteria, which in turn creates the characteristic sour taste and increases the probiotic content in the final product. Each tank is filled with brine solution, a mixture of salt water and spices like dill, garlic, pepper, bay leaves, and others depending on the unique recipe of each brand. The cucumbers are soaked in brine for 1 to 4 weeks, depending on the thickness of the skin, the type of product, and the desired flavor. It is the clever use of ambient temperature to promote the development of beneficial bacteria during fermentation, combined with the long soaking time, that is the key to creating the difference in flavor and crunchiness between the natural fermentation method and the quick vinegar pickling method. Once the fermentation period is complete, the pickles are carefully removed from the brine tanks and immediately transferred to the processing line for final cleaning and inspection. At this stage, each pickle is thoroughly rinsed to remove any excess brine, spices, or sediment that may have settled during fermentation. After rinsing, the pickles pass through a visual inspection system, either by trained workers or automated optical scanners, to detect and remove any defective or damaged pieces. Next, the pickles are sorted by size and shape using precision mechanical graders, ensuring uniformity in the final product. They are then transferred into filling machines, where they are packed into jars or food-grade barrels. Before sealing, each container is filled with a final brine solution, either the original fermented brine or a fresh one prepared under sterile conditions, to maintain flavor and preservation. Finally, the sealed jars undergo pasteurization in hot water baths or steam chambers, depending on the product type and shelf life requirements. This step helps to stabilize the pickles, ensuring food safety while retaining their natural crunch and probiotic benefits as much as possible. In contrast, the vinegar pickling method takes only a few hours, meeting the enormous demand with billions of jars produced worldwide each year, and a longer shelf life, all while being about 4 times cheaper than naturally fermented products for the same volume. And this is why this method is so effective. After being thoroughly washed and sorted, the cucumbers are placed directly into pre-sterilized glass jars or plastic containers to ensure absolute hygiene. Before the cucumbers are added, dry spices such as dill, garlic, mustard seeds, black pepper, and bay leaves are added to infuse natural fragrance. The cucumbers are then automatically divided into the glass jars. In addition to whole pickles, many products are also sliced into rounds, cut into chunks, or shaped in various ways, perfect for topping McDonald's or Burger King's burgers, or served with salads and sandwiches at chains like Subway and KFC. After the cucumbers are divided into jars, they are moved to the brine filling area, where the soaking solution is added to complete the flavor and preservation structure of the product. The key difference in this step lies in one essential ingredient: vinegar. For industrial pickle products, due to the lack of natural fermentation time, the brine solution must include vinegar, acetic acid, at a ratio of 5 to 10% combined with salt, sugar, and other spices. While the natural fermentation method requires refrigeration to maintain freshness and is typically consumed within a few months, vinegar provides an immediate sour taste. It also acts as a natural preservative, allowing the product to be stored at room temperature for up to a year or longer, making it more convenient for large-scale distribution in the global industry. For industrial pickle lines, this is also the beginning of the short fermentation process, which is strictly controlled for temperature and humidity, ensuring the product achieves a consistent flavor and standard crunchiness. So is naturally fermented pickled cucumber or quick vinegar pickled cucumber your idea of the perfect jar of pickles? The next step is pasteurization. Typically, the jars of pickles are placed in a continuous pasteurizer or high-pressure retort, where they are heated to a temperature between 80 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius for 10 to 30 minutes. After leaving the heat chamber, the product is rapidly cooled by passing through a cold water spray system, combined with high-powered fans placed along the conveyor belt, which helps quickly lower the temperature and prevent overheating or changes in the pickle's texture. Most naturally fermented pickles don't require pasteurization, as the fermentation process creates an acidic environment that inhibits harmful bacteria and preserves beneficial probiotics. Finally, the jars of pickles are placed on a conveyor belt and pass through an automatic labeling system. Each label clearly displays the product name, ingredients, production date, and expiration date. This step ensures that all jars have consistent, accurate, and compliant information for distribution. Pickles not only play a vital role in the global economy, generating billions of dollars in revenue each year, but also serve as a cultural bridge, connecting diverse culinary traditions and bringing the distinctive sour flavor of 4,000 years of history to kitchens around the world.